Jay-Z built an empire by standing next to the fire. 50 Cent built his by being the fire. Today, we are settling the most toxic debate in hip-hop. Who actually had the better career? Is it the guy with 11 #1 albums or the guy whose debut was so massive it felt like Tupac came back from the dead? Watch this.
What's wrong with niggas? Now we squared up. Hold up.
Life's a game, but it's not fair.
Fair. And you know we don't give up. It's not your turn. You find me in the club. I'm full of blood.
If you think Jay-Z is the undisputed king of hip-hop, you completely forgot what 2003 felt like. When you really study the architecture of these two careers, you realize we're comparing a 20-year marathon against a meteor strike that literally stopped the globe. Jay-Z is the ultimate master of adaptation. He survived every single era of rap by shifting his sound, making strategic corporate moves, and linking up with whoever had the hottest momentum at the time. It's brilliant. While other rappers were just trying to get on the radio, Jay-Z was sitting in the boardroom, negotiating his way into the Def Jam presidency and figuring out how to turn his rhyming ability into a sports agency, a champagne brand, and a billion-dollar portfolio. He is the absolute blueprint for corporate longevity. But 50 Cent, he didn't adapt to the game. He forced the game to adapt to him. He completely bypassed the industry gatekeepers. Before the labels even knew what was happening, 50 Cent hijacked the underground mixtape circuit. He was taking industry beats, rapping on them better than the original artist, and creating a groundswell so massive that Eminem and Dr. Dre had no choice but to give him the biggest deal in hip-hop history. That is pure independent motion. He didn't need a massive pop star on his hooks to cross over. He brought raw, unapologetic energy straight to the mainstream and built an empire off pure aggressive dominance. And unlike Jay-Z, who eventually played the diplomat to protect his brand, 50 played the supervillain. He actively dismantled his competition like Ja Rule and Murder Inc. and made stepping to G-Unit career suicide. We are looking at two completely different blueprints for cultural supremacy. The polished CEO versus the unstoppable warlord. The guys on the Flagrant podcast just broke down this exact dynamic, and they exposed a massive difference in how these two legends actually stayed relevant. Listen to this.
The type of career I would want, Jay's career over 50's.
You're fucking on drugs. Don't ever listen to this.
I'm just saying.
You got to be.
I'm just
This
saying.
guy's out of his
Yo,
fucking mind.
You have
See, this is what I'm saying?
11
He's just-
#1
he's just
albums.
a Jay-Z.
How
I'm not
many
going to call
#1
him a
albums?
glazer.
50
Yeah.
I'm not going to say you a
How many
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z glazer?
I'm not going to say you a Jay-Z glazer.
He's a
right?
good guy to glaze.
I'm a Jay-Z fan. I'm a
No, I'm
Jay-Z
not going to
fan.
say you a Jay-Z glazer.
I'm a 50 fan.
But let's
I'm an
just,
Eminem fan.
Okay.
But I'm just saying.
The difference, the reason why I think you sound crazy and you just a 50. You might just be a 50 hater. And it's
No,
because you just said
we all love 50.
Now look. So look, he said he'd rather have Jay career over 50, right?
Yeah, me personally, no,
Listen.
but yeah.
Listen, you can't argue with 11 #1 albums. Jay-Z is the blueprint for longevity in hip-hop, period. He treated his rap career like a corporate ladder, constantly leveling up and making sure his name stayed relevant across multiple decades. But the argument they're making here is crucial. Does pure volume equal a better career? When you're sitting in front of Logic Pro mapping out a track or trying to scale a business and apparel brand from the ground up, you realize just how much calculated effort goes into staying relevant year after year. Jay-Z didn't just drop music, he engineered cultural moments. He figured out exactly what the market wanted, adjusted his sound, and packaged it perfectly. But is that organic dominance, or is that just a masterclass in marketing and networking? Because 50 Cent came in swinging with a totally different energy. He wasn't trying to fit into the corporate structure. He was breaking the mold entirely. He didn't need to tweak his sound to match the pop radio formats. He made the radio adjust to his gritty street sound. When you look at the raw metrics of how people consume Get Rich or Die Trying, it wasn't a slow build. It was an instant global takeover that forced the whole industry to pivot immediately. He wasn't networking his way to the top. He was holding the game hostage. Let's get into the most thought-provoking part of this whole debate, the concept of standing next to the fire.
Listen, Jay's presentation is good. I think 50 always has the best presentation in hip hop. And what I'm saying is Jay will do a deal, and we can look it up. Remember when he had the album with Samsung, and they bought 1 million copies before he even dropped?
That's a fire.
He always found a way to
Jay's
win.
brilliant.
Yeah.
He always found a way to win. When he had his percentage in the Barclays, he used that. He had a good presentation. But when 50 Cent dropped, it felt like Tupac came back from the dead.
Yes, but no,
Listen,
no disrespect. No disrespect.
No. And look, because let's keep it real.
Bring the hammer down.
Jay is smart enough. You gotta let me finish.
All right.
Jay is smart enough to stand next to the fire.
Yes.
That's what
Kanye album,
Yeah.
R. Kelly album, R. Kelly album.
Let me talk.
R. Kelly
Who
album.
was on Jay-Z? Look, when did 50 tour with Jay-Z? Look it up. I was in jail.
Come on, sir.
Because he was standing next to the fire.
That's smart.
Jay admitted it.
That's smart.
50 had the most hate. Niggas didn't need to stand next to the fire to heat up. That's all niggas do. And it's 20 years later, and we're still doing 103 shows.
Yeah.
That right there is the absolute core of the Jay-Z versus 50 Cent argument. Jay-Z is a master strategist. When Linkin Park was hot, he did a project with them. When R. Kelly was at his peak, Jay did an album with him. Jay-Z knows exactly how to attach himself to the current cultural momentum to keep his own temperature up. And honestly, from a pure business standpoint, that's genius. It takes serious vision to constantly read the market, adapt your brand, and seamlessly insert yourself into whatever the world is paying attention to next. That is how you guarantee your survival across multiple decades. But 50 Cent didn't need to stand next to the fire, because when Get Rich or Die Trying dropped, he was the fire. He was the sun the rest of the industry was revolving around. He didn't look around the room to see who was trending so he could grab a feature to stay hot. He just dropped a nuke on the game. He held the entire culture hostage with his own sound, his own crew, and his own raw emotion. And the global reach of that heat, the way it shifted the industry overnight, is something we haven't seen since.
Right now,
Come on,
if you go to if you go to
he don't understand. He don't understand. When that dropped,
Son, New York.
our biggest enemies, Ja Rule never even said it. Yo, when that
Jay-Z's New
dropped,
York
we know it's a
song.
problem.
You hear that everywhere.
I understand, but you see this right here? You see the Dream Team, Dr. Dre and them? Trust me, that was the biggest
No,
impact in New
Jay
York
had
City.
crazy songs, like 99 Problems.
But you know,
like,
when this dropped, it was over.
yeah.
When Jay-Z, we had video games,
But
cereal,
like
socks.
you said,
We had pajamas.
11
we had sneakers.
The sneakers are
So
fire.
video games.
Pajamas, sneakers, video games. Stop and really think about what Tony Yayo just said. 50 Cent didn't just have the #1 song in the world. He had the entire culture wearing his G-Unit sneakers and playing his character on PlayStation. When we talk about creating real motion, whether you're dropping instrumentals, designing your own apparel brand, or building a media empire, that is the ultimate level of leverage. You aren't just an artist anymore. You are the economy. Jay-Z built a refined, bulletproof corporate machine over 3 decades. He sits at the head of the billionaires' table because he knew exactly how to pivot, adapt, and outlast every single era of hip-hop. But 50 Cent, he gave us the greatest multi-year run in the history of entertainment, a peak so undeniably massive that 20 years later, a room full of grown men will still stop what they're doing to aggressively debate it. So I'm turning it over to you. Who are you taking? Are you taking the 20-year marathon of Jay-Z or the absolute global takeover of 50 Cent? Drop your winner in the comments right now. If you respect the hustle and want more deep dives into the business and culture of hip-hop, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and keep it locked right here on Rich Motion Media. I'll see you in the next one.